Hey y'all. So while y'all are coming in, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know that in case y'all didn't watch my review earlier, that I'm not gonna be on screen today because I have not been feeling good for the past couple of days. My allergies have been really bothering me. Excuse me if I cough and clear my throat. I'm so sorry. But yeah, your girl been struggling with that for the past couple of days. I'm so sorry. Um, Next week I will try to be on the screen. I'm not trying to make this a thing. I just was not feeling getting on camera today. So please bear with me. Hey Kelsey, thank you, Angela. I'm gonna be all right. I promise. Like, this happens. Like, this is the time of the year that this happens. You know, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner because the weather the weather has been like so erratic lately, and that's usually when this happens to me. So I'm just gonna try to like mute the microphone when I have to cough and stuff, so y'all don't have to hear all that. But yeah, I just been taking, try to take some medicine to help it because, child, my whole head is stopped up. It feels like, I don't, if y'all have never had allergies, it really feels like my head is like filled with some sort of liquid, and I can literally, it's like I hear my voice inside my own head. It just feels so it's like disorienting. Hey Chanel. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Let me go ahead and put the pictures up here. Let me see. Thank you, Deandrelyn. I try to take natural things, but I've gotten desperate, so I've taken Claritin, and I've even taken Benadryl at this point because I'm just like, but I only take Benadryl when I know I'm about to go to sleep because that will knock you out. But I've taken what is this called? Let me see. Elderberry. I've tried it all, I feel like. Let me try to get this picture up here, y'all, real quick, and we can go ahead and get started. So what did y'all think about this episode? Like, I feel like usually, please try Claritin D or Allegra D at the pharmacy and try Flonase. Okay. I've tried the Claritin D, so I'm gonna try the Allegra D. I'm gonna have to get me some of that tomorrow. So what did y'all think about this episode? Usually the retreat episodes tend to be like one of the good ones, but I feel like this one, I mean, it's been the same as the rest of the season. Like, it just wasn't, it was very underwhelming. I feel like some of the couples, I don't know. I just feel like these people do not belong together. So it just falls flat to me every time because it's literally the same thing we're talking about every single week. It's just going around and around with the same problems. I'm ready for this season to be over too. Claire and Ryan give me better as friends. Why bother? Exactly. So I guess we could go ahead and talk about Claire and Ryan since they're on the screen. This episode continued to show that none of these couples should have been matched. Exactly. So when it comes to Claire and Ryan, I forgot who just said this, but they do seem like they would be better as friends because when he read that supposed love letter, like, yeah, I feel like Ryan has a way with words when he writes. I remember his vows were beautiful, but the way he read them, he didn't read them with no feeling. He just read them like he was reading the news or something, like he was reading the announcements. He just did not read them with any sort of feeling. Clara wants love so bad that she's gonna like force whatever he says, she's gonna try to force it and turn it into love. And so she broke out into tears. But I feel like, now that I think about it, I just feel like Claire has a very shallow view of love. Just based off of how she says she just falls in love so quickly. And when Ryan tries to get a deeper connection with her, she's not able to do it. So I just don't even think Claire really even knows what true love is. So it's just they're boring and annoying. I know the season was terrible. That was not a love letter. Ryan was very calculated with his words and actions. 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 match making skills. That's a fail. I know, right? But it's crazy because every season is pretty much like 2, maybe 3 couples stay together. And then I believe they said they have a 23% matchmaking success rate. I'll round it up to 30, but 70% do not make it. So, I mean, it's already, if you come on this show, you have to know you don't have a great chance of staying with someone. Ryan must be doing something good off camera for her to be so in love. Exactly. That's why I think she just loved the fact that he's quote unquote racially ambiguous, because what else is this man doing for you? Joshua says Claire's expectations are unrealistic. What do you mean? His letter was selfish. It was selfish because it was talking about like how she basically caters to him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really mention anything outside of her characteristics that, that benefit him. Claire does not love herself, so she begs for scraps. I do think Claire needs to take some time and love herself. It does seem like she's missing that a little bit, because for her to be giving and not receiving, something is missing there with your self-esteem. Because I'm telling you right now, I could never. That's a little bit too much for me. Ryan is messy to keep asking about the housing post because they already have it resolved. Ryan, what do you think he was being messy? I don't know if he knew he was being messy or not, but it definitely stirred up a lot of controversy. She said Ryan was the best relationship she has had. Those other relationships must have been trash. I know. I know. Clara lets him be him, but will Ryan let her be her? That's another thing. Like when she was saying how her friends are constantly questioning, that she's changed. And she asked the other ladies, have they experienced that? And they haven't. So it's like, well, are you just changing yourself to fit this mold that he's trying to make you fit into? You know what I'm saying? Because for all we know, he could be the same way as Eric. He could be just as controlling as Eric. And she's just willing to fall in line, whereas Virginia is not. On camera, he gives nothing. It's not fair to pair someone that falls in love fast with a guy that's so guarded. That's damaging to her. I agree. Ryan read the letter so monotone and didn't even acknowledge that Clara was crying. He sure didn't. You know what? Because he just sat up there and let her cry. You're right. You're right. He just sat up there and let her cry. And he didn't even try to hug her or nothing and say, like, I'm here for you, or just any sort of comfort. Ryan had already asked that before, and that caused Eric and Virginia to fight before. Okay, you know what? You're right. Maybe he do be trying to stir up. Maybe he do be trying to stir up drama. Maybe he thinks if he stirs up drama with them, it will take the attention off of him and Clara. And the way Clara talks about Ryan on Unfiltered like they're good makes me feel like there is more going on behind the scenes. It could be. I mean, maybe he could be doing some things off camera. Maybe he just, doesn't want to show the world how he truly is. But I don't know. Something about that is disingenuous. Like, you came on a TV show. I hate when people who are not open come on this show, because what's the point? Why did you come if you weren't going to be open? What I don't understand is, how is she in love with Ryan? I don't get it exactly. Me either. Like some other people say, he must be doing something right off camera. He have to be. Maybe it's his booty that she loves. Child, hold on for a second. I just made me cough. But that booty, Ryan's booty, his booty is like huge. I did not like, I knew it was like he had a nice butt, but it poked out really, really far. And I was like, wow. Wow. Y'all remember Marcus with the hips from Girlfriends? He ain't got nothing on Ryan. Lemon, honey, and tea. Thank you. I do need to drink some tea. I watched your review today and I was like, that can't be a real pic. Let me tell you, I took that straight off the TV. So unless they did some editing, that is not that's straight from the TV. The booty is from CrossFit. Well, maybe I need to be doing me some CrossFit, child, because I mean, it was lifted and perky. It was very perky. Oh, let me move on. Let me move on to let's get them out the way too, because y'all, I really want them to make it. Like, I really do. I really, really do. Y'all are silly. I really want Brianna and Vincent to make it, but a part of me just feels like Vincent is a little bit too insecure. Now, I haven't got a chance to read my comments from my video earlier, so maybe y'all disagree with me. I don't know, but he just the more I think about it, the more I'm like, he would get on my last nerve. Vincent would really get on my last nerve. Like, and I'm someone who's also very, I'm kind of careful myself, but he does too much. Like, if I understand, maybe you being a little apprehensive to want to go horseback riding, but for him to just get there and then get right next to the horse and be like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna get on it." That would, y'all, I promise, I probably would have snapped on him right then and there. I probably would have went off on him, because don't get me all the way out here and get me on the horse, and you get up to the horse and like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna do." I don't even care that he eventually did get on the horse. It's just the principle. Like, we could have did something else. Like, just tell me you're not gonna do it. Because if you get me on this horse and you don't get on, I'm gonna feel a way about it. I'm probably gonna have an attitude now. Like, I don't know. He my cousin sent me a picture of him earlier with a pacifier in his mouth, and I just cracked up, because that's the way he act. He act like somebody that constantly has to be coddled. We constantly have to worry about Vincent's feelings. Well, is Vincent gonna be okay with this? And it's one thing to keep your husband in mind. I'm not talking about that, and I'm not talking about compromising, because I do think, Brianna should compromise on certain things. But it's like, we have to tiptoe. We have to make sure Vincent is not gonna be upset every time I say something. They'll work long term with counseling. You think it's editing, Angela? I hope it's editing. I don't mind that he's not adventurous. Some people aren't. I mind his anger issues and her need to control. That's another thing. Brianna, it's not like it's just Vincent. Brianna is bossy, like bossy to the point where it does come off a little bit controlling. If this man want to sleep, let him sleep. And I know that's like the only example that we have, but I feel like that won't be the only thing she'll be bossy about. If you want to control his sleep and control his sleep patterns and when he wakes up and when he goes to sleep, I know there's more things she gonna want to control. For real. Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm just in a crabby mood right now because I'm not feeling the best. But I just think they both have things they need to work on. Vincent needs to speak up and should have done it from the beginning. I agree with that too. It's like, if you don't agree with something, Vincent, you're a grown man. Like, I feel like that's a part of the coddling. That's where the coddling comes in at. Because now instead of you actually saying out of your mouth what your issue is, I have to now, okay, well, Vincent, what's the problem? Why are you mad? Are you okay? It's like I have to, like, why do I have to sit here and figure it out when you could just tell me? She's gonna wake him up one day, he's gonna go out. And let me tell you, that's me. If you ask anybody that has lived with me, y'all better let me sleep. And I'm not playing. If I can't get no sleep, it's gonna be some problems. You can ask anybody I've lived with. I do not play about that. Okay. It is three things I don't play about at all: money, food, and sleep. Okay, that's three things you need to survive. So if you mess with any of those three things, I am gonna have a problem. And so let somebody come in and wake me up just because you think I should be up right now. Oh no, we about to have a problem. You better wake me up only if it's an emergency. Cause other than that, I be getting mad at my alarm for waking me up, and I'm supposed to get up. He friends with Chris. Oh, I see. That's questionable. He's friends with Chris. Child, I didn't know he was friends with Chris now. We're gonna have to shut that down. I mean, maybe he's just being friendly with Chris because, they started the situation. I don't know, y'all. If he's friends with Chris though, I would have an issue with that because I don't want his influence in any sort of way. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Especially not with the way Chris act. I don't need none of that to rub off on you. And if you have any of that in you, I don't need to be with you. Period. Brianna will get exhausted, especially should they have children. I know. Like, can you imagine having children and having to tend to Vincent's neediness as well? Like, that's too much. Like, like, y'all, the test for me was this horseback riding. Maybe that's why I'm harping on it so much. Because to me, that was the test. He failed the first test when she was like, okay, we're gonna go salsa dancing. He failed that, right? And so they had a talk with Dr. Viviana, and she, showed him where he was wrong and where he needs to improve. So I'm thinking, okay, horseback riding is going to be the next test. But he failed that too. I don't care what y'all say. I mean, I don't care what nobody says. Like, even though he got on the horse, he still failed because he was still whining and crying before he had to get on it. It's like, just let me move on, because I feel like I'm going in too hard and I wasn't trying to do all that. What about the apartment? Where would they live? It just seems like he came, like, did they have, maybe y'all can tell me, did they have a conversation about that I don't remember? Or like, it just seemed like he decided that she would move in with him because she was looking crazy when he said that. Like, am I the only one? Like, she was looking like kind of like, what are you talking about? When he said, oh, she's gonna move in with me. So did he just decide that, or I don't know? And then she was like, I don't know how it's gonna be living in a 1 bedroom with him. And I don't know either, because shoot, he's the type to he's the type to be possessive over his things. Someone said that Bree had a roommate. Oh, okay, she had a roommate. I think the guys just assumed the women would move in. Okay. I think Bree went too hard on the living situation. He said until his lease is up, and I think they will look for a place together. Okay. I'm telling you, Ryan caught Vinny and Eric up with that question. Sure did. Like, I didn't even think about it that way, but you're right. Oh my goodness. You right about that. Brianna thought she was about to move straight into the high rise. Right. Oh, they need a neutral space in case the relationship doesn't work out, because she would have to move out. Right. I agree. You're right about that too, Sabine. The producers do tell them to ask certain things. So you're right. You're right. Let's move on to let's move on to them. Like, y'all, if I ain't never seen a more dysfunctional couple, like, what's going on? For real. Like, and I hate when people try to like put it more on one person than the other. Both of them are equally toxic. Both of them equally deserve the blame. Yes, he's controlling, but Virginia ain't all right in her head either. Like, she's very selfish. Like, She's very selfish and very immature. And she doesn't know what it means to be married. Like, I feel like in that aspect, Eric is right. Like, and we really got to see it in this episode. Like, she really was not willing to compromise about anything. But on the other hand, Eric, you are not trying to compromise on anything either. So shut up. Shut up. He always try to be so condescending and put it all on her. He talked to her like she's a child, but then again, Virginia act like one. She act like a sorority girl from college. When you move too fast in a relationship and sidestep tough questions, you get Eric and Virginia. I could see that too. Eric lacks awareness, self-awareness, and Virginia is not ready for marriage. She is immature. Exactly. Like, he's allergic to cats, ma'am. Why would they sleep in the bed? Girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, them cats, they're not sleeping in the bed with me anyway. I don't care if I wasn't allergic. Why now y'all, maybe y'all are pet people. Maybe y'all can explain to me why pets have to sleep in the bed. Like, why can't they sleep in their own bed? Because I'm not sleeping in the bed with no animal, especially if I'm married. We already have two people in the bed. We ain't finna have no animal. Oh, no, there is no way no animal is sleeping in the bed with me. So that would be a no from the jump. I don't care if I'm not allergic. But the fact that this man is allergic and you still want these cats in the bed, like you trying to kill him or something? Do you know how allergies work, girl? I'm sitting up here. My ears are ringing. I hear echo inside my own head. You must not have allergies. You don't know how this feels, but girl, it's torture. And you want him to sleep with that every night? Eric straight throws Virginia under the bus every time the cameras are rolling. You're right. He does do that. And then he gonna get mad. Like, he does it in a very subliminal, indirect, like passive aggressive way. But he does do it. But then when she directly calls him out, when she directly says something that she doesn't like, or says that he gets mad for no reason, oh, he he doesn't want her to bring that kind of thing up in front of the camera. But you do it all the time. He is such a hypocrite. I think Virginia wants to push him to give up. I also don't think she thinks he's allergic. So you think she thinks he's lying. Eric wants to mirror his parents' marriage, and Virginia wants Eric to be another one of her pets. She may be trying to kill him. I mean, it sounds like it. Shoot. I had a coworker whose cat did not like her husband. One night, the cat peed on his back, and he got so angry, he opened up the bedroom window and put the cat out. They lived on the first floor. Oh, child's finna say, did he kill the cat? But I'm not sleeping in the bed with no cat. Like, look, I'm sorry. I don't understand how people do that. Yeah, no animals in the bed ever. Virginia is codependent on the animals, and I believe she's holding on hard because she wants an exit plan from this marriage. I could agree with that as well. I could agree with that, because why else would you hold on to something like this and it's like a deal breaker for him? Listen, Fluffy gotta go. And even with the like living arrangements, I could understand not wanting to move in with him. But if he said he'll like bend to your every need, like whatever you want, you can have moving in with him. Okay, I will get that in writing. And look, we're just gonna have to do what we have to do until we can find new living arrangements, because he owns his place. You're renting. Like, what what does she really want from that situation? I do think she's trying to find a way out, and she's being extra difficult instead of actually saying that out of her own mouth. And instead of running, you know what I'm saying, physically, she's trying to push him to leave her alone. I can see where y'all are coming from with that. It's becoming more and more apparent that Eric should have been matched with Haley. They are both mean and conservative. Can you imagine like their arguments? That they now, if anybody would be ready to kill each other, it would be them, because they really harbor a lot of anger and resentment, and they are very passive aggressive about it. So I can only imagine one of them blowing up. Like, I could see it. I could see one of them snapping and ending up on the news, because they don't actually let out their frustrations. They pretend they don't exist, or they try to cover it up with this nice nastiness, and it's so annoying. I'd rather you just go off on me. Just be real. Be vulnerable for once. Stop pretending to be perfect. Let's go on and move on to Haley and Jacob, since we're on that subject. Because I feel like they should have just left each other a long time ago. I'm glad Jacob got that bracelet. Kudos to you, Jacob. I don't care who's mad about it. I don't care if the mama's mad. I don't care if Haley's mad. The mama probably just wanted that $800. Look, and then she had the nerve to get on camera and say, well, I was never gonna wear the bracelet anyway. Well, that's why I'm glad I got it back. That's why I'm glad I got it back then. Give it to somebody who's gonna appreciate it. I'm still like, I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but I'm still like I'm really still feeling the same way. But it was worse earlier, but my whole head is congested. Haley missed the whole point. Exactly. Haley doesn't want to get it. She does not want to get it. And she just, I feel like because Jacob is not willing to go along with her farce that she's trying to put up for other people, like she wants to make it seem like they're doing all right, when in actuality, they're not even sleeping in the same bed. They can't even have a conversation without having some sort of argument. But in front of other people, she want to make it seem like, oh yeah, we're all right. No, he was not. He look, he ain't finna put on for nobody. Jacob keeps it all the way 100. He is not finna sit up here and fake in front just so you can pretend like everything is okay. No. She is worse than Molly on a prior season. You know what? She is. She is. They are literally one and the same, if you ask me. But at least Molly she was willing to be a little bit more upfront. You know, Haley pretends like, well, we're gonna start over, and never actually gives the man a chance. Never actually gives him a chance. Like, what's the point of y'all resetting, quote unquote? What's the point? Because you're not gonna try. Jacob is the coolest guy in the room, but she's too stuck up to know it. Mm-hmm. The couples need to keep their own places for at least 4 months after decision day, in case things don't work out. Jacob said on Unfiltered he would have gotten her something else. See? That's how nice he is. Oh, you don't like the bracelet? I'll go find you something you do like. Let's go shopping for something you do like. That's why I think Haley is stupid for giving up Jacob. Because think about y'all. Think about it. Jacob makes good money. He has a house. He's willing to, he's not stingy with his money. He's willing to provide for, like, it seems like he's a nice guy. Like, I feel like she could possibly have liked him if she wasn't so focused on the superficial. She's too focused on the outer appearance and what other people will think than actually focusing on Jacob the man. Because I feel like he has awesome qualities that she's overlooking. And we get to see more of his personality around other people than we do with her because she is so stifling. I would hate to be around Haley. You can't never be yourself because every time you turn around, every time you do something silly or fun, she gonna look at you crazy. She gonna be judgmental. She gonna, oh, why did you do that? Why are you wearing this? Why are you doing that? Because I'm a human being and I'm expressing myself. Because everything doesn't have to be serious. Everything doesn't have, I don't have to wear tennis shoes every time we do something that's quote unquote athletic. Like, everything, she got to judge everything this man do. If Chris and Paige can leave, I don't know why they can't. It's almost painful to watch. It is. I just commented this on the review because I just finished watching it. Good review. Thank you. I know I'm in the minority, but I really can't stand Jacob. He's so weird. And maybe they should have paired him with someone that's more open-minded. Because I'm sure there's some people that do look at him as odd. But I'm one of those people, I just rather you be yourself than pretend to be someone else. You know what I'm saying? There's so many times people have come on this show and have tried to put on a front. You know what I'm saying? Try to put on a front to try to please somebody or to look some way on camera. Jacob don't do none of that. Jacob he's not even trying to please anybody in the room. Like, he's just himself. And he's even willing to change his style. Like, he was willing to let her dress him. Like, I feel like he was willing to do certain things to change himself in order to be with her, but it's just not enough. Eating all them eggs and steak and onions got to have a not so good smell. Now, that's one thing I can agree with y'all with. When I saw him sit up there and eat 8 eggs, that cannot produce a good smell. That can't. Y'all right about that. I'll agree with you on that. He was even willing to change his diet. Well, look, if he's willing to change his diet, cook him some stuff, cook him something different, or take him out to eat this place, or introduce him to something different. You know what I'm saying? If he was willing to change his diet, then I just don't see nothing. What's so bad about Jacob? Like, I just don't see it. She just doesn't get him, so it's hard for her to dig deeper. Like I told y'all, she wants a redneck. She wants one of those men that wears their favorite sports team t-shirt all the time, and a dad hat, and his favorite Nikes every day, or his hunting boots, or camouflage, or this, or like, she wants somebody that I don't know. She wants somebody that fits in her mold. It's very similar to Eric. Like, he does a lot of weird things, so that's a turn off to some people. But she doesn't have to be so rude and fake to him. That's hurtful. That's true too. Like, even if she doesn't understand him and doesn't get him and doesn't want to get him, you don't have to be so nasty about it. She wants a Bubba. uh, Haley and Olivia needs to be friends. And I hope they don't try to villainize Jacob. If they try to villainize Jacob, I'm gonna go off, because it's one thing for what they did to Brett at the reunion last year when they was trying to make Brett the villain, and it was kind of easy because Brett didn't have the best attitude, but I feel like he was just being honest some of the time. Like, he was just being honest. And the same with Jacob. I hope they don't try to villainize him just because he was being honest and he wasn't trying to play the game in that moment. Because Haley really did do him dirty sometimes. Like, a lot of these times. Haley and Brett. You know what? Haley and Brett might have been a really good match. Brett is the type of person Haley would love. She would love a Brett. The only thing she wouldn't like about Brett is that he would tell it like it is. Like, he definitely would not sugarcoat nothing. So I hope she be ready for that. But other than that, I think she probably would like Brett. Exactly. Haley doesn't have to be attracted to Jacob, but she should treat Jacob with respect. He didn't match them, the experts did. Right. I fault both of them for not leaving. They both look ridiculous. I do think both of them should have left by now. But maybe because they were so close to the end, maybe they were just like, well, might as well just stick around until the decision day. And don't they get like a bonus or something if they make it to decision day? I don't know. I was kind of proud of him when he left the house early. Oh, they might as well film separately. They don't sleep in the same room. They didn't sleep in the same room. They didn't travel together. And when they got there, they didn't sleep in the same room. So what was the point? Haley thinks she's a Barbie doll and wants a Ken doll. I thought the word on the curb was Haley stayed at her place and only appeared for filming. Not sure if it's true. Must wait until the reunion. I could believe that because they act like they didn't spend any time together. The way they act around each other, they still act like strangers. They still act very much uncomfortable around each other. I mean, they really act like they rarely talk unless it was these little superficial conversations. Well, what's your favorite color? If you don't get out of my face. All right, y'all. I know I'm ending this live really early, but I feel like I'm so low energy right now. I was going to try to do the Ready to Love live after this one, but I can't. I can't do it. I promise to work on this and hopefully I'll be back to 100% next week. They said on Unfiltered Haley doesn't show up until it's time to film. You know what? She shouldn't get all of her check then. She really do act like Chris. Cause that's exactly how Chris was. He barely showed up when it was time to film. He didn't even move into the apartment. Like, Chris literally is the worst husband in the history of Married at First Sight. And Haley, she working on being the worst wife. But Thank you. Thank you. And thank y'all for showing up, even though even though I know this wasn't the best live. Thank y'all for showing up. And I promise, well, I'm not gonna promise 'cause I don't know how I'm gonna feel next week, but hopefully next week I'll be on camera and we can have a better live discussion. I like next week should be decision day, but I know it's not. I know that they had like one more week before decision day, I believe. So, child, we'll see what they got going next week. Thank y'all for all the well wishes. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.